Hello, folks. I am here, and I know I haven't been doing enough of these. I really want to share more because there's more to share. But I was just listening to Michael Singer, and I wanted to talk about something. I've been doing a lot of meditation in the morning, meditation at night, at least 15 minutes. Praying. And throughout the day, I am working on being as mindful and in my body and in the moment as possible. That can be difficult, and it's easy to forget. And I think the only way I can remember to do it throughout the day is to continue to meditate and be in my body and be mindful as much as I can in those moments, practice being in those moments, practice being present, and watching my energy, watching the energy going through my body. And again, I'm really lucky. I can see the energy. I can feel the energy. It's kind of stuck in my muscles, to be honest with you. And I'm trying to loosen them up by doing yoga. Kind of be doing half-assed. I mean, not exactly half-assed, but I'm not doing everything that I can. I've gained a lot of weight. I'm like the heaviest I've been right now. And my stomach gets in the way. I'm doing a lot of these positions, and it's really uncomfortable. I'm really uncomfortable. So I'm working on losing weight, and one of the things Michael Singer was talking about, what I was just listening to, is he was talking about letting go of your emotions, and he was describing, basically how to do it, relax and release, find the tension, relax and release, and watch. And I haven't really been, not that I haven't been able to watch the emotions, but I haven't been able to detach from them. I haven't been able to enjoy them the way Michael Singer talks about, once you release, he says, once you release yourself from the lower self, right, from your ego, there's an incredible pull to go back and get on the hamster wheel. And I like how he describes it. It is the energy that caused the fall from the garden, right? It's a really hard thing to resist. But even when you stumble, you got to keep going, right? You got to get back up and keep going with it. And, the ideal is to get to the point where you're watching the emotions, you're watching the energy, you're feeling the energy, and you're like, wow, this is amazing. I'm not thinking that, but just feeling like, oh my God, this is incredible. No matter what the emotion is, no matter how uncomfortable it is, watching the energy and experiencing it for what it is and being grateful that you can, right? I mean, the heart, he's in another part of the stuff, he talks about the heart being the orchestra of life. You've got your mind, you're thinking, but life is like, your emotions are the soundtrack. The emotions are obviously they're what make you feel, but they're basically what makes life kind of worth living, personally, I think, but he doesn't really say that. But the idea is not to get caught up in them, we're watching them. And I'm kind of understanding this, I think, at a different level, because what I really heard today was to look at the energy. And I'm having this experience now where I can, like I said, I can feel this energy, I can see this energy, sometimes better than others. When I practice, the more I practice, the more I see it. And if I don't practice, it gets weaker. I don't see it as much, or I'm not as aware of it, really. But I can watch energy. And that's something that really struck me while listening to Michael Singer. It's like, oh, I can do it by watching energy. Watching the emotions as energy, because emotions are energy, right? They have their own vibration. They are definitely energy. And the idea is to get to the point where you're enjoying it. He says, the Bose commercial, if you guys remember, being, the guy in the chair being just blasted by the sound energy, right? Your hair goes back, and it's like a storm. And I don't know about you guys, but I really like being outside in storms. Like when hurricanes used to hit I wish that you watch excitedly. It's thrilling. It's exciting, and that's the sort of feeling that you want to have about emotions, and that's what I'm working towards. Definitely, it is work though, and you got to keep at it, even when you stumble. Right? I'm not going to call it failing, because every time you fail, you learn, right? So they're learning experiences, and you get back up and you stay a little longer in that space, until the point where you are eventually there all the time. And then once you cease to be carried away by this other emotion, you start feeling other things flow through you, and that's when you kind of feel Shakti and the spirit, just flow through you, and that brings you to the happiness that we all want to, where we're one with it. Well, I mean, I think getting one with God is like a little bit higher than that, but where you're just loving life, and I think that's great. And that's what I'm going for. But another thing I wanted to talk about is, a lot of people that I know, they're really obsessed with, life is short, and we're going to get as much enjoyment. And you know what? That's true. Life is short. Time goes, I cannot believe that I'm in my 40s. I cannot believe that I'm halfway through my 40s. But that's just a number. And I don't look like I'm in my 40s, so at least that's that. And I'm becoming more healthy, making better choices. And I just gotta stick to it, because sometimes I stumble there and it kind of undoes all the work that I do. So I end up making this balance. Like I make, one step forward, 2 steps back kind of thing. So I'm working on that. Well, I kind of feel that the idea is, like, if you're not feeling good about things, and you're kind of, my thing is I'm kind of always sad, right? I'm an Enneagram 4, which is really bizarre. Social 4s, I'm an extrovert, so at least I'm a little different from most social 4s, but my baseline is melancholy, and it doesn't feel good. I'm sad a lot of the time. Even when I'm happy, there's an undercurrent of sad. And that's something I'm working on being aware of and watching, rather than just feeling and being miserable, right? But I'm kind of, and it's not intentional on their part, but I'm kind of made to feel, or I'm being triggered to feel. It's, on my part completely. I'm taking complete responsibility and ownership of this emotion. It's no one else. But I feel like, what exactly am I saying here? I feel like I should feel bad about the time that that I spent being depressed and frankly losing years and years of my life. And I can really beat myself up about that. That's something I can really go after myself about, like, just feeling like I wasted all these decades of my life not doing anything, and I'm in this situation, etc., where I put myself, and I'm not where I want to be, and things should be different. And that's a major thing to work on, is the idea that things should be different from how they are, right? I very much feel like this is wrong, like my life is wrong right now, and I'm working on that, because it's never wrong. You're always where you're supposed to be. And I feel this which is like this thing where I don't feel bad about all the missing out on the beauty of life, because number one, that is my experience in life, and I have to honor that and be grateful for it. No matter what your experience is, that is your person. No one has had that experience. No one will have that experience. So there's something to honor and to cherish and respect about that fact. No matter what the past was, that's my experience of life. And two, I'm learning the lessons that I need to learn, right? My soul is evolving. You know, all our souls are evolving through every lifetime that we live, and we learn the lessons that we need to learn. And sometimes we need to like, sometimes it needs to be kind of pounded into us. But I am really determined to learn the lessons that I need to learn in this life, and that means I had to go through what I went through, as angry as I can make myself about it. I often make myself feel very angry about how much time I feel I've wasted and how much potential I feel like I wasted. Like I always had so much potential, and I always felt that I needed to be accomplishing major big things when I was younger. And, you know, I did a lot in through my mid to late 20s. That was exciting, and I enjoyed, and, you know, was moving towards where I wanted to be, when I got depressed for a number of reasons. But again, like, that is my experience, and I'm learning the lessons my soul has to learn. Like, I haven't learned these yet, right? So I need to take what my experience in life has been and learn from it. And that's not something to be ashamed of. It's not something to be upset about, because these are necessary for my soul to evolve. So that's what I sort of keep in mind. And I just wanted to share that, like, looking at life that way, if you're upset about how life has gone, and what your situation is, and if you're beating yourself up about things, which is real easy to do, you know, definitely own things, be responsible about them, but don't blame yourself. I'm always working on releasing the blame, releasing the anger and the resentment I have against myself, releasing the regret and the guilt and the shame, the self-loathing, the self-sabotage. I'm working, and I pray every day for, you know, twice a day, for God to help me, for the universe to help me release those emotions, and just to be grateful for what I have and what I've experienced and the lessons that I'm learning. So this is the thought I want to leave you with, and I just want to remind you guys that no matter what your situation is currently, no matter what your past is, no matter how angry you may be at yourself, it's time to let those go. Appreciate what you have and what you've been through, and be grateful for it, because, like I've been saying, that's your experience in life. And I'm repeating it so I get it into my brain, right? That's your experience in life, no matter what it is. And the situation where you are is where you are, and it's where you need to be. It's where you're supposed to be for the evolution of your soul, right? For the lessons that you have to learn, because you have to learn them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm upset. Like I said, I'm upset about the years and decades that I lost being depressed and making poor choices. But I shouldn't be, right? Like, not to shit all over myself, but I am working on releasing that and not being angry at myself, because I need these lessons. I need to learn them, because I haven't learned them. And that's why I'm here. So that's why my life has been what it is. That's why I'm in this situation I'm in. It's because there are lessons that my soul has to learn in this lifetime. So I can be grateful for that. And I'm going to remind you guys that, like I said, no matter what the situation is, no matter how angry you might be at yourself, let that go and be grateful for what you've been through, for your experience in life. No one has had that experience. Only you have had that experience in that entire life. Only you see what you see out of your eyes, right? Only you hear what you hear. Only you feel what you feel. And that's something to be grateful for. So, reminding you all out there in Facebook land that you can always choose to have a great